everybody. My name is Barbee. I'm a circuit judge here in Hernando County, filling in for our first appearances. If you have not been with us before for first appearance, there's three purposes for this hearing. One is to ensure that there's probable cause for your arrest. The other is to check the bond status of your case. And the third is to determine whether or not you're going to hire your own attorney. You want me to appoint a public defender in a temporary capacity to get you through the next stages. So let's see. Does he just swear everybody at the same time?
Yes.
I'm sorry. He swears everybody at the same time?
Yes.
Okay, would everybody down in jail please raise your right hands? Very good. You solemnly swear or affirm anything you tell me is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, help you God? A resounding yes, right? Everybody agrees? Good, all right. Violetta Barbee. Good afternoon, young lady.
Hi.
Violetta, you are here on, well, really two different issues. One is you have a violation of probation out of Orange County, for which there is probable cause, and on that there wouldn't be a bond anyway, and we'd tell Orange County to come get you. The other issue you have is a driving with suspended license that occurred back in March 2019, CT 1134, and state, is there an offer for Violetta to resolve that?
Yes, the offer is 30 days Hernando County Jail, and I'm showing no days credit.
Okay, when were you arrested on this one yesterday?
I give her credit for
I was supposed to show them my license when I went to court. And
Okay.
I got my license back.
Okay, so would you like me to reset you for another date in front of Judge Hitzman?
If I'm not going to be in jail, yeah.
Well, you're still going to be in jail on the Orange County thing, because that's a violation of
Yeah, but
probation.
I'm saying once I deal with Orange County, would I come back out, would I have to get transported back here to deal with it, or would I do it on the outside?
No, state, would you prefer I have her transported for Friday? If we address the Willis?
I mean, if you want to put her on Friday, that's fine. The state's not going to change their offer of 30 days because she keeps getting new cases. So,
Okay.
whether she got her license or not, the offer's 30 days.
What time is court on Friday?
9 o'clock.
9 a.m. Okay, all right, Violetta, what we'll do then is on the 19 CT 1134, I'll have you brought back on Friday, which is the 12th, I think,
Yes.
at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Hitzman, so you can talk to him about what you're going to do about your license case. And in the meantime, we'll notify Orange County that you still have local charges pending, and once you guys figure out on Friday what's going on, they'll probably send somebody to come get you, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Oh yeah, and we'll set aside the capias on the 19 CT 1134. I need to fill this out? Oh, okay, it's just for my benefit. Okay. All right, Michelle Bowen. Good afternoon, Michelle. Michelle, you're charged with, it looks like, 3 counts of drug possession and 1 count of paraphernalia out of Alachua. So the judge who signed the warrant obviously found probable cause. Based on the charges, I'm going to reduce your bond a little bit. Do you want me to appoint the public defender, or are you going to hire your own attorney with respect to these charges?
I believe I've already been hiring a public defender. The judge has wrote me and given me an arraignment date and a public defender, but I don't know who it is.
Okay, well, I'll appoint them, I guess, anyway, and then it'll be the Alachua public defender when you get up there anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
I know, judge said I could on this one. So this particular judge set the bonds, which looks like a blanket bond, though, at $40,000, but she gave me permission in her warrant to address them, so we'll just set your bond at $5,000 apiece on the first 3 charges and $1,000 on the 4th count for a total of $16,000. If you do bond out, make sure you appear at that Alachua County date that was provided to you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So the court's aware she's currently serving an 8-month sentence here on a case here. So.
Okay, they can still come get her if they want her. Kimberly Pellegrini. Good afternoon, Kimberly. Kimberly, you are charged with 1 count of domestic battery. There is probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, do you want to represent yourself, hire your own attorney, or do you want me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
Okay. State, What's her history look like?
She has a pretrial intervention from 2016 for petty theft out of Hernando and single source offender.
Single source offender? What does that mean?
So she doesn't have any out-of-state history.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I'm glad you clarified that. I never knew what that meant. They say it all the time.
Now we know.
Just one source. Okay.
All right, Kimberly. Kimberly, first off, you're have absolutely no contact. If you do bond out, you have absolutely no contact with Joseph Libazuski.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so any way you can think of having contact, please don't do it so you're not back in jail. And in the meantime, I have to set a monetary bond since it's just domestic, domestic in nature. So I'll set your bond at $100. And you'll be back in court on August 2nd at 9 o'clock in front of Judge Hitzman. Okay?
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Oh, you're looking like I missed something. Oh. Okay. Just real quick on Miss Barovia, you don't need to come back or even bring her back. I don't know if she's still in the room. I'm assuming she is. But Miss Barovia, we have to set a bond on your driving with a suspended license Hernando charge, which is kind of silly, but we have to do it anyway. So we'll just set the bond at $1,000. You can't get out anyway because of the Orange County stuff. But I got to set a bond, so I'll just set it at $1,000.
Can I pay that bond? Can my parents pay that bond today? So at least that would be done.
That would be a colossal waste of your parents' money. But they're welcome to pay the bond if they want to, but it would have absolutely no effect on your ability to get out.
No, I know, but wouldn't you guys then put me on transferring today and I'll be gone in 5 days instead of waiting?
No, you're coming back Friday to see Judge Hitzman to address this traffic case.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
Okay.
Your Honor?
Are you talking to me?
Yes. I just that CT case. She's not in custody on that. I just want to make sure you are aware.
If somebody's talking to me, I need you to talk louder. I can't hear you.
Yes, Your Honor. I was just letting you know that CT case that you're discussing. She's not in custody on that case.
We know that. We set aside the capias, so I guess the original, if we set aside the capias, it would go back to the original bond status, wouldn't it? Because if we set a bond, it means you have to be arrested. So there wouldn't be a bond on that, I wouldn't think. It would go back, if we just set aside the capias, it would go back to the original status, right?
Well, she had one of the last time. The last case was prior to this case, she said it's $2,000 bond.
And she bonded on that?
And then that one, was also set aside. She had, another failure to appear. The initial, she was issued a traffic citation initially. She was never physically arrested.
Yeah, I don't think we set a bond on that, just the processing that. Anybody have any help for me on that? I don't do this criminal stuff every day anymore, so. But she's not arrested on that case.
Right.
So the jail doesn't.
You can put it back on ROR status, but she doesn't,
Maybe you just set the bond on the ROR because she's coming back Friday.
Yeah, let's just
I'm
do
sure
that.
we're
Set
gonna
it back
get
to ROR.
I'm sure we're going to get it resolved Friday. One way or the other.
Set it back to ROR. Go to the jail, doesn't have to worry about it. All right. Sarah McElroney. Or Macarone. Hi, Sarah. You are here today on a burglary of a dwelling charge for which there is probable cause. And as to that charge, would you like to represent yourself? Are you going to hire an attorney? You want me to appoint the public defender?
I'd like a public defender, and that was the first I've known of why I was even here.
Okay. You are charged with burglarizing a house at 6130 Broad Street, lot number 76. And there is probable cause set forth in the affidavit by Deputy Harper. And you're to have no contact with the victims in this case. That means don't go back to that lot number. It looks like you live in the same
I do. I actually was trying to find somebody to call.
You probably shouldn't talk.
Yeah, I don't really want to go back.
Okay, well, just so you know that you can't go back to the location at Lot 76 and the victims that are there, Stephanie Jones and Troy Neal. So you can't have contact with them. So make sure of that. And in addition to that, you said that you want me to appoint the public defender, which I've done. And State, can you help me with her criminal history?
Showing in action was no pros in March of 2018 for possession of methamphetamine. She had pretrial intervention in 2014, possession of cannabis. That was out of Hernando. And an action was dropped for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon in 2005 out of Hernando.
Okay. Sarah, you working?
No, sir, and I would like you to know that that possession charge, I had been held here for a week. I was held in Pinellas for 3 more weeks. The lab results came back that it was absolutely nothing, and it was thrown out.
Okay, yep, she told me it was dismissed. So she said non-lacrosse, which is the same thing. So
And then
if you have no job and nowhere to go, how am I going to be guaranteed you're going to come back to court, Sarah?
I will make sure that I make it back to court. Otherwise, from there, I plan on trying to do what I can. Thursday, I have an appointment at daycare to do an intake, and then from there, my plans is to take the referrals and leave state and go get the whatever I'm referred to and treatment at a different state.
That doesn't give me warm fuzzies about you coming back to court, by the way.
Well, I'll be back to court and make sure I take care of that before I further the treatment after I get the referrals.
All right, based on the burglary count, I'm going to set your bond at $2,500. We'll be back in court on August 12th at 1:15 in the afternoon in front of Judge Toner. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Brittany Diggett. Good afternoon, Brittany. Brittany, you are here on a capias, looks like signed by, not sure whose signature that is, signed by another judge. How's that? Capias signed by another judge for failure to appear?
I think it's Judge Toner, Your Honor.
Okay, so it looks like signed by Judge Toner on a grand theft. Judge Toner has set your bond at no bond. I'm not going to mess with his bond amount on that. So as to that charge, do you already have the public defender appointed to you on the underlying grand theft?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will verify that they are appointed. And we're going to change your date. You're going to appear in court. Looks like you already have a date, but they had it changed till August 2nd at 8:30 a.m. in front of Judge Toner. So make sure you appear you won't be bonded out, so you will appear that day whether you like it or not, I guess. So, okay, young lady, you are all set. Ronald Burke.
And the state does have an offer to possibly resolve this case.
Nope. Good afternoon, Mr. Burke. Mr. Burke, you're here on a failure to appear warrant signed by Judge Rupi. The bond amount, she said, is $2,000. I'm not going to mess with her bond. State, is there an offer to resolve Mr. Burke's case?
The offer is an adjudication of guilt, credit times served. We give him 2 days, Hernando County Jail, fines, court costs, cost prosecution.
Okay, did you hear that, Mr. Burke?
No, I did not.
Okay. Basically, the state has offered you time served plus cost to get out.
Yes, sir, that's fine.
It's up to you if it's adjudication of guilt. Do you want to accept that offer, or do you want me to give you a court date?
What would be the cost?
About $553, roughly.
Was that court cost?
Yeah, that's court costs on the trespass.
So what's the alternative?
Come back to court. You can bond out. Their bond's $2,000 set by Judge Rupi. You can come back and visit with her and see if the offer changes from time served. there really isn't any other offers than that, other than maybe an adjudication withheld. If that's, I don't know what your criminal history looks like though. So you're welcome to just reject it and come back and visit with Judge Rupee if you'd like.
Or I can just pay the $550.
The $550, what you would do if you accept the plea offer, you'd be sentenced to 2 days, Fernando County Jail with 2 days credit time served, and then the amount of money you would owe is about $550. And what you do is, upon your release, you'd go to the clerk's office to set up a payment plan for that money.
Okay, or that, or if I bond out $200 for it?
You'd have to get a bondsman, and it would cost you $200 out of pocket to get out. Yes.
All right, so I'll just do that for now.
You're going to bond out?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so your court date in front of Judge Rupee will be August 2nd at, that's in front of Judge Hitzman, it looks like, though.
Yeah.
Oh, they do? They don't make them go back? Okay. So this will be in front of Judge Hitzman, actually, at 9 a.m. on August 2nd in courtroom B. Should you bond out, your bond's $2,000. And you want the public defender, or do you already have the public defender on this case? Are you going to hire your own attorney?
No, I'd like to get a public defender.
Okay. Okay. You got a seat, sir. Thank you. Joseph David Kowalski.
So if you'll spend 200 to get it out, then you're still going to insert 100.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kowalski. Mr. Kowalski, you're charged by the Florida Highway Patrol with driving with a suspended license, which is a felony based on the number of convictions that they allege that you currently have. There is probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, hire your own attorney, you want me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
State what's the...
Showing an adjudication in May of 2018 for possession of a controlled substance and paraphernalia out of Hernando. An action was dropped for battery in 2014 out of Hernando. Adjudication for driving while license suspended out of Okeechobee in 2011. Adjudication for driving while license suspended habitual in 2009 out of Hernando. Adjudication driving while license suspended 2005 out of Hernando. Adjudication 2005 out of Hernando for driving while license suspended. And there are
Couple more of those?
a couple more of those. Violation of driver's license restriction 1999. Violation of driver's license restriction 1998. Burglary of a dwelling and petty theft, but those were juvenile, and he's a single source offender.
Okay. Mr. Kowalski, you working?
I just started a job, actually.
Okay. You think you still have it?
Probably not.
Okay.
Not unless I can get out today and just go back to work.
You still living on Cloverleaf?
No, sir, I moved. It's, I don't know the physical address. I had a problem with it booking last night. It's up Twin Court off, Centralia.
Okay. All right. Well, based on the lack of ties to the community, I'm going to set your bond at $1,000 based on the felony duelist. If you bond out, you will appear back in court on August 12th at 1:15 in front of Judge Toner. And we've appointed the PD already, so you're good to go. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Joshua Lott. Mr. Lott, you're charged with a count of failure to appear based on a capias that was issued by Judge Merritt Jr. And Judge Merritt Jr. has set the bond at no bond with several explanations as to why he set it at no bond. So I'm not going to mess with that. As to that charge, you want me to appoint the public defender, you can represent yourself, or hire your own attorney?
What are the explanations for no bond?
There's lots of them. You have multiple prior FTAs, it looks like. No conditions will secure his appearance is what Judge Merritt wrote on the warrant. So that means no bond. And he's kind of my boss, so we're not going to give you a bond on that one.
I already have a public defender, but if you want to appoint one, I'll take it.
Sounds good. All right, sir. So you'll be back in court, it looks like, on August 12th at 1:15 p.m. in front of Judge Toner. That we should change that, though, shouldn't we?
My public defender told me it was July 26th.
This says August 12th at 1:15. That is Merritt? Oh, okay. Good, thank you. The courtroom letters messed me up all the time. I wouldn't think so after all these years.
Do we know if he has a public defender on his?
I just pointed it again. He said he does.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies. Thank you.
No worries. Andrew Olson. Good afternoon, Mr. Olson. Mr. Olson, you have a domestic battery against, looks like your dad, as well as a resisting without violence. The first thing before we go anywhere else is if you do bond out, you're going to have absolutely no contact with your father whatsoever. So if you live at Catalina Street with him, you're going to need law enforcement to go with you to get your toothbrush because you're not going back there, okay?
All right.
So, as to those two charges, there is probable cause. Do you want to represent yourself? Are you going to hire your own attorney? Or you want me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
Guys, state what's his criminal history look like?
He has no history, Your Honor.
No criminal history. Mr. Olson, you working?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I deliver food.
All right, Mr. Olson, looks like a bad night for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a bond of $100 on each of the two counts based on your zero criminal history. You'll be back in front of Judge Hitzman on August 2nd at 9 a.m. And remember that no contact provision, because if you do go back to the house and have contact, you'll be sitting in jail on no bond. You understand?
Okay.
All right, sir. Good luck.
Thanks.
Maximiliano Vargas Nunez.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm well, sir. So, we have two different cases for you. The first is a warrant on tampering with a witness. As to that case, the first thing I'm going to tell you is similar. I told the other guy you'd have absolutely no contact whatsoever with the victim in that case, who Sarah Zahn is the victim. So you have absolutely no contact with Sarah Van whatsoever. Judge Merritt Jr. has reviewed the probable cause, determined there was probable cause, and set your bond at $5,000. As to that case, do you want to represent yourself, or are you going to hire your own attorney, or want me to appoint the public defender?
A public defender, sir, and I need to state something. It's not about the charge, sir.
Well, that's always up to you. We have somewhat freedom of speech in this country.
All right, great, sir. I'm a combat veteran, U.S. Navy.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome, sir. The last 30 days, I've been in a treatment facility that the VA sent me for PTSD at North Tampa Behavioral Health. I've been in contact with Public Defender Tippin. The charges and the warrant was issued while I was in treatment, and I've been in contact with my probation officer, Officer Krantz, since day one of my treatment. I was trying to get things squared away so I didn't have to be in custody, so I didn't lose my job or my school. And what Tippin asked was, I also got a hold of Jared Miller, who's the veterans officer, and he was able to contact the veterans DA, and they're going to be putting this case and my case that I'm on probation in veterans court. And between all of them, they said all I could do is come in front of whoever the judge was today and ask for an ROR, as I have no family. And we even set up, my fiance and my son is with her mom, so in case I do get that ROR, so I can get back to work and school, so we don't lose our rent, sir, for next month. I've never missed a court date, and I've always been doing well, sir.
Okay, well, I do appreciate everything you just told me. I want you to understand that this, while you certainly may, and Attorney Tippin or one of his colleagues certainly may file a bond motion on your behalf, where you can bring in witnesses and argue all that to the judge that this will be before. This case isn't going to be heard before me, and based on the fact that you have a new felony and you were on probation at the time of this, I'm not comfortable with an ROR. So the VOP has a no bond attached to it because of the fact that it was a felony resisting with violence case. Looks like you've been on probation for over 3 years on that case.
2 years, sir.
I wonder if this is a typo. It says it began March 4th, 2016.
What's that, sir? No, sir.
I think that's gonna be.
2017.
Yeah, I think the case was filed on November 6th, 2017. Or, I'm sorry, the disposition date that I'm showing here is 2017, November.
Jay, can you pull up?
Or not.
Tell me what it looks like when he's.
And Your Honor, I drove
When was
myself
he on
straight
probation?
from the hospital to my probation officer without a stop and go, just to make sure I got this taken care of, to show that, you know, I'm not a flight risk or anything.
And it was 2 years or 3 years?
3 years. And 100 hours.
I believe September 9th of 2017 was my arrest for that resisting with violence, sir.
Yeah, he has the wrong date in here for when your probation began. That's all. Who's that in front of?
And the ROR request, more than anything, is if I miss 6 consecutive days of my technical school, they do drop me, sir. And this is my last semester. I've already been in a year and a half.
No, I certainly feel for you, sir, but if you're on probation or accused now, there's probable cause that you committed another felony while on probation. That's not something that a first appearance judge is going to look kindly upon for an ROR. So what I am going to do is I will give you a bond on the VOP of $5,000. So you have a total of $10,000 on the bond, $5,000 on the trespass, on the tampering with a witness, $5,000 on the VOP. If you do bond out, you have to appear in court on August 12th at 1:15. Now that's in front of Judge Merritt. Should I switch them both over to Toner? Okay.
I can't afford that regardless, sir.
So I'll move both cases over to August 2nd at 8:30 a.m. And you've already been in contact with your public defender. I'm glad they know you're there, and they will help you and could file a bond motion with Judge Toner to determine whether the bond should be reduced further than I already reduced it. So good luck, sir, and again, thank you for your service. I'm sorry we find yourself in this position.
All right, thank you, sir.
Brandon Johnson. Mr. Johnson, you also have 2 cases. This one. Well, sort of 2 cases. You have a domestic battery that occurred with, it looks like your brother.
Correct.
And there is probable cause for that offense. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, hire your own attorney, or appoint a public defender?
A public defender, please.
Yes, sir. What's his criminal history look like, State?
Your Honor, he has an open battery case that actually is set for the second arraignment this Friday, July 12th at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Hitzman. That's involving his wife, Katina Johnson. That's his only history, but the state would ask that he be recommitted on that case, given he's picked up another battery and now violation of pretrial release of the no contact. And we can put all these cases on for Friday, and I should have, hopefully, possibly a global resolution.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. All right, Mr. Johnson, what we're going to do is you have your second case, by the way, which I did not address with you, is your violation of pretrial release for having contact with your wife and child, it looks like, at that same location. And that's on the underlying charge, which was another battery, 19 mm 1921. So what I'm going to do, Mr. Johnson, is you're going to be held on no bond on these 2 charges based on the violation of the pretrial release. You're going to be brought back before Judge Hitzman this Friday. So hopefully there's a quick turnaround for it.
Okay, so so I'm clear.
Yep.
That at least on Friday, after that hearing, I can be released.
That's up to Judge Hitzman and your lawyer and the state, and they'll work something out with you one way or another. But I can't say you will be released. It really depends on what the decisions of the parties and the negotiations, etc., that occur on that day. You understand?
Okay. Yeah, I understand that, Your Honor.
Okay. So I don't know what the offer will be or anything else, so who knows what's going to happen, but I'm just holding you on no bond until Friday because you're not getting out anyway on the violation of pretrial release.
Okay.
All right. I think that's everything. Right?